Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer. This is a game of domination on Crisis, I think, and I have two friends in this game, Onslaught and Ronaldinho, and we're playing against a group, like an organized team of good players. So you're not going to see like the kind of crushing victory that you normally do on YouTube, and I like to see that every now and then. I like to see guys show games where it's freaking hard to win. So enjoy the game while I talk about which Call of Duty is the best ever. All right, there's a couple Call of Duties in the lineup that could be it. COD 2 was groundbreaking. It was a good game. COD 4, COD 5, otherwise known as World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and Black Ops. That's it. COD 3, I don't even know about COD 1. Was that a 360 title? But COD 3 sucked. Everyone knows that. I never even played it. I didn't buy it because they said it was so horrible. Like, I shouldn't say it sucked. I didn't play it. But let's get started. COD 2. COD 2 was a good game. It was a little weak in terms of length of gameplay. In terms of the game's life cycle, it didn't have as much to offer as the later CODs. Therefore, when COD 4 came out, guys were really thirsting for it. And it was a good game. The snipers were a little bit OP. When I played COD 2, it was kind of campy, and it was hard to get into a lobby because COD 4 was when I got into the game. COD 2 was kind of past its life cycle. Let's move on. And I don't think people are going to argue that COD 2 was the best ever. COD 4. Now, this is a game that a lot of people say is the best Call of Duty ever. A lot of guys will tell you that every gun in COD 4 was balanced, that there were no problems with the game, that it was absolutely super, and they just loved COD 4. But they forget what it was like when they actually played it. I think they are just sort of nostalgic for COD 4. Because the truth is this. In COD 4, all the new players were born with frag times 3, right? The great players use bandolier, all the noobs use frag times 3, and the nades would just roll in. You were born with an airstrike in your pocket, and some maps like Wet Work and Shipment were just so effective. The moment you spawn, throw 3 grenades nearly randomly in the air, and you'll get some kills. You'll practically get a UAV out of the thing. It was dreadful, and people forget that, and they forgive it. They also act as if every weapon was balanced in COD 4. That you could just pick up anything you wanted and do well with it. That's not really true. Maybe if you're some sort of super cyber athlete, you could. But in reality, some of those guns kind of suck. Some of those shotguns were hard to use. Some of the Scorpion in particular. The thing had, what did it have? 2 bullets in the clip. It was hard to get a good game with some of those guns in COD 4. Now, I'll admit, COD 4 had a lot of guns that you could use, but between frag times 3, the glitches in the map, I'm looking at you, Ambush, I'm looking at you, Overgrown. So, yeah, COD 4 had bugs that they never fixed. Oh, and by the way, on the PS3, COD 4 was so hacked. People were flying around. They were invulnerable. They were impossible to kill. And yeah, the Xbox had some minor hacks as well, but on the PS3, it was this huge problem, especially towards the end of the game's life cycle. Anyway, COD 4 was a good game. It was solid. One problem I have, and this isn't to be forgiven, is kill streaks stacked after death. If you could get to a 3 kill streak, then you could probably get to your 5 because you've got the UAV up. And then when your 5 takes you to your 7, and then you die, and you call in your helicopter next life, and it starts building up your kill streaks again. And it's funny, right? If there's a problem in a game that helps noobs, like the NoobTube, then it's this huge deal. I know everybody hates it, and I'm on that bandwagon too. But if there's a problem in the game that helps pros, like your helicopter getting you new helicopters in your next life, then, it's okay. It's kind of fun, Whatever, dude. That was a huge thing, and it hurt players who were bad. The spawn trapping in COD 4 was so ridiculous. But on the YouTube scene, they loved it because YouTubers are often good players, and the problems in that game helped the good players. They made it too, elite friendly. Anyway, COD 4, good strong game, probably the second best one ever. But kill streaks should not earn you kill streaks in your next life. Frag times 3 was a big deal. But the sound was good. Let's go on to World at War. World at War was a lot like COD 4. It added tanks, which to me is a subtraction. I don't actually like to have vehicles like that in a game. Also, the textures were ugly. Look, I have a problem with Treyarch and their color scheme. For some reason, it's all grays and browns as I look at a gray and brown map. But the big problem with World at War was the gun balance. MP40 with Juggernaut. MP40 was such a strong gun that it didn't need stopping power. So what would you do? You'd run the thing with Juggernaut. And now the thing is like a 2-hit kill if one of the shots hits the head, I think 2 or 3. And the MP40 was just so damn strong. You didn't need stopping power. You were hard to kill because you ran Jug. And every other gun was at a major disadvantage. The gun balance in that game was terrible. The second worst in the COD series ever. And that's my problem with World at War. If you're not running that MP40, then, you know, with extended mags and Jug and all that stuff, then you're at a disadvantage because somebody else is going to be running it, and they just never got around to fixing that. The poor thing is hacked now. It doesn't deserve that kind of death. But yeah, World at War, good COD, best ever? Absolutely not. Let's talk Modern Warfare 2. People say Modern Warfare 2 is good. People say that it had this fun factor to it. No, Modern Warfare 2 sucked. Modern Warfare 2 is a rage-inducing, suicide-causing bullshit game. Modern Warfare 2 is the worst COD ever made. It freaking sucked. People don't understand how terrible this was. At this point in a game's life cycle, people always fuss at it. People always say, you know, oh, Black Ops is boring, Black Ops is this or that. Whatever, dude, it's October, right? Of course you're fussing about Black Ops. Come, you know, late spring, summer, people get, you know, they've got a lot of hours in a game. They're not as excited about it as they once were. That's what happens. But, in Modern Warfare 2, that game was actually garbage. That game sucked. At this point in its life cycle, people were burning their discs. They were putting them in toasters. They were running them over with lawnmowers. Modern Warfare 2 was this rage-inducing bullshit. I can't tell you how many times I've died in Modern Warfare 2 when I didn't deserve to die. Now, I've got full cover. I should be healing up. But no, some noob tube kills me around the corner. The noob tubes were never ending in that game. I'd run into entire teams full of guys who just ran tube after tube after tube. I had, you know, friends who I hadn't talked to for a while, and I come back and I realize they've become noob tubers in my absence. They were bullshit. And the noob tubes would never stop. And people say, oh, it's one-man army. One-man army is only a piece of the puzzle to that game's bullshittery. The one-man army, you also had scavengers. So you could run China Lakes and you could run noob tubes, and scavenger would fill those freaking things up like there was no problem, and it was just bullshit. And that was only the first part of it. Scavenger also refilled your claymore. So, you know, you could sit there. Camping was so effective in Modern Warfare 2 because you just dropped the thing at the top of the stairs. I saw a YouTube video where a guy earned a goddamn nuclear bomb off his claymores. His claymores earned his kill streaks, and then his kill streaks got him a bomb, and it was ridiculous. Modern Warfare 2 sucked at a level that we have never seen before in the Call of Duty history. I haven't even played COD 3, and I'd rather play that shit than Modern Warfare 2 because Modern Warfare 2 was bullshit. I'm like, oh, and the hacks. So these games have like a 12-month life cycle, right? Modern Warfare 2 was broken for too long. Way too long. People forget about the Javelin glitch. You got that game out, all of a sudden guys are like, you know, this YY switch your weapon bullshit, and then you'd have a Javelin when you were born, and as soon as I killed you, you blew up like you were an RC car. And people would be these human RC cars rushing at you all freaking game long. Rushing at you. And it was bullshit, because you'd kill them, and then you'd still die. And then you'd kill them, and they'd get quads with their death. My God, that game sucked. So there was the noob tubes, there was the Javelin glitch, and then there's the care package glitch. Oh my God, it took them forever to fix the goddamn care package glitch. And then the moment they put their patch out, there was another care package glitch, and it took them forever. And then they said, we're going to put our patch out now. And then they didn't. And then they didn't put the patch out, and they waited and put out a third patch even later. It was more delayed, and that was the care package glitch. And you also forget you can't even play domination on that goddamn game because you'd get sucked into this rust match 18 on 18 where there were these informal rules never to cap a goddamn flag because they wanted to play forever and ever and ever, and people were getting like 500 kill games because the games would last 20 minutes, and it was rust 18 on 18, just garbage game. It was broken for way too long. These games last for 12 months, and Modern Warfare 2 was just about unfreaking playable for 5 or 6 months because it was so buggy, piece of shit, bullshit, horrible developer, garbage. And now people look back on Modern Warfare 2 with nostalgia, like, oh yeah, this game is so great, the gun sounds, the look, or whatever. Look, Modern Warfare 2 had potential. Modern Warfare 2 could have been a good game if they had listened to the community feedback, if they had fixed the noob tube bullshit in that game, like Treyarch would have. Treyarch supports their games. Then Modern Warfare 2 could have been good. Let's move on. I think we've covered how much Modern Warfare 2 freaking sucked. It was broken, it was unbalanced, it was bullshit. Black Ops. So what are the problems with Black Ops? Well, the colors are ugly. Everything's brown, everything's gray, everything's whatever. The gun balance. People act like Black Ops has gun balance issues. It really doesn't. It does, right? The FAMAS is a little better, but the SPAS can be used, and frick, they're using it at the MLG stuff. You can use the SPAS, you can use the AK-74U, you can use the FAMAS, and then the other guns like the Galil and the AUG, don't put you at such a huge advantage. You've got a variety of guns that you can use. I like the Commando in this game. But yeah, I'll admit that, some guns are a little better than others, but it's hard to be perfect in when you have this much variety in the game. So there's that. What are the other problems with Black Ops? They say it's a little slow moving, and that's true. In terms of map design, I wish that it wasn't camp friendly, or better yet, so rush unfriendly. They put the cap flags in the most dangerous spots. There's hardly any cover. I'm not crazy about their map design, especially around domination. They should shrink the maps a little bit, and they should give you flags that have cover, so that if you want to stop a guy from capping a flag, you have to get your butt right up to him and get your kill. Infinity Ward typically does that well. But Black Ops isn't a bad game. If you were to say Black Ops has big problems because the FAMAS is too strong, well, look at the ACR. People didn't talk about how much the ACR sucked, or the UMP, because there were so much bigger problems in that game. That was the problem with that. So back on topic. So aside from gun balance, the other issue that people have with Black Ops is Ghost, right? There's a lot of Ghost users, and I will sit there and blame Ghost for all my problems. Some guy will throw a nade over a building and kill me, and I'll be like, God damn, Ghost! By the way, get this guy, Woody, for the win, God damn it, we lost by 1 point because I didn't kill this guy on Alpha. Anyway, the other problem with Black Ops is Ghost. Ghost is not that big of a deal. It's an issue, but I would put it in the same sort of realm as Frag times 3. Black Ops, to me, is probably the best Call of Duty ever. I have high hopes for Modern Warfare 3 that it can have the fun factor of Modern Warfare 2 and the balance of Black Ops. Crossing my fingers. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new and you did, then click on that subscribe on the top right. There's 2 videos you may have missed. On the top one is Mail Monday. Always good stuff. Guy with a painful penis, a lesbian mom, and one boy with hoe problems. We help him out. And then on the bottom, this is one of the best videos I've made in a while. It's a huge decision. I ask you guys how you feel about it. I talk about the idea of going pro on YouTube. And then the surprise video is something new. Check it out if you're curious.